to have on during the future. So Justin, do you have any particular questions, something I could help you with? I don't know.
Well, I have a question. I've signed up for the Django course in February. Will this be, I know that our code is probably going to be live on Heroku. I believe there's 12 projects. I mean, live on GitHub. Will this be deployed to any like cloud instance as a live running app as well? Will there be like anything like a Heroku or something like that I'll be deploying the application to?
Yeah, so let me show you. We are going to start. I'm going to show you a few examples of the projects you can, and actually it is just from here you can like dig yourself in more detail. I'm just picking someone randomly. We have this is one of the projects built with for the Django course. This particular project, you will see that it's leaning towards advanced SQL and model features of the Django framework. We use these open source SQL schema built by MySQL, I believe. It's Aquila. It's like a rental, like a movie rental store here, it says. And this particular project, for example, deals mostly with database access, advanced queries and models, relationships. There is inheritance. There are so many advanced features. So for example, this one is a project that is not intended to be deployed at all. But if you check other examples, you will have, for example, the one with the Twitter clone. The idea of this one is to deploy it. We use Heroku during the first weeks because it's a simple tool enough, and then we start talking about, let me see if I can get one. We have advanced configuration settings, like for example the one is for the API one. So these ones that work with the API, these are more complex systems. So we start talking about, for example, what could be the difference about deploying these with an Nginx server or doing something with Apache. What could be the differences? And again, we will not do it during the class because it takes a lot of time, but the idea is to give the foundations for you guys to do it in practice. I don't know if you have seen these before, but the idea is to have one like class where we sit and discuss topics, right? But the real value is through the project. So there are 3 projects per week, and these projects, the idea is that you guys have them all deployed, so you can, not all of them, again, there are some projects that they don't make much sense to deploy them, but the ones that do make sense to have them deployed, so you can just type a URL and you can have access to it. That's the most interesting part about it.
Right, exactly. That makes a lot of sense. I have some experience with Heroku, but actually I've actually gotten most of my experience for regular server production pushes. If that gives you an idea where I am.
Yeah, so let me share this 1 second so you have access to see all the other ones. And again, maybe what we usually balance in our courses is like, it's hard to do this balance, but basically what is something that it's absolutely necessary to share and to communicate to our students, and what is something that at some point will get old, you know? So usually when we talk about differences, for example, what we were saying, Nginx versus Apache, it's going to be more of a conceptual difference. You know, what's the idea of having a single evented web server instead of a process-based web server? And tomorrow the technologies might change, but the concepts will always be there. You know, that's why we try to do, not just in the Django course, in every other course, you know, because the truth is that we have gotten through so many changes in technologies in our lives, and the only way we could survive is by focusing on the concepts, you know. So today you have Node.js, people talking crazy about Node.js.
Don't even get me started about JavaScript. Python is a cakewalk compared to that madhouse.
But yeah, exactly. But the concepts are still there. You know, I used to, when I don't know, 2004 or something, we were using Java with the new IO library, and it was basically the same thing happening on Node.js, and it hasn't changed. You know, there are some fancy, colorful things around it, but conceptually it's the same. So that's what we try to communicate. So basically, the most important part of to communicate from our point is that this course is pretty intensive, especially for people we have designed them for thinking about people working full time, you know, so it is intensive though. Even if you are working, I mean, if you're working, it will be challenging. It's one challenging month, and we want it to be that way, because the idea of making education efficient, is what brought us here, right? So our idea, one of our core values, is provide an efficient way of communicating things educational wise, right? So what you, Joel, were just saying, if you're learning by yourself and you have to spend 2 hours Googling for a solution, that is not efficient. You know, we want to maximize. If we could have like amount of learning per time, this is a pretty engineering nerdy rate, but if we could have something like that, how much learning you have per unit of time, we want to maximize that value. And all the work, we will provide the foundations for that to happen, but all the work is going to happen in the student side. You know, we are also kind of sick about magic solutions advertised out there. And the truth is that to learn coding, there is no magic solution. You know, it's just hours sitting in your chair and coding. And the only thing we try to do is to provide the best foundation for that. You know, so we have people coming to us looking for magical solutions, and you know what happens after a few days? They just end up dropping, because there is no magic. It's just a lot of sacrifice. And I don't want to be the one bringing the bad news, but it's something we want to start with. You know, it's, if you guys are willing to put a lot of effort, our main goal here is to provide all the resources and our own time and all the foundations for you guys to maximize that learning. But it's up to you, right?
I come from a scientific programming background, so I'm used to nasty spaghetti code.
Well, yeah. That's why you want to jump straight to the Django one, right? That's focused on web development.
Yes, sir. Basically, where I'm at, I've worked with Python for about 6 years right now, and I'm at the point where I'm writing Python packages and everything for scientific and data analysis and things. But essentially, if you're comparing to Ruby on Rails, I'm able to write Ruby gems, but I'm unable to use the Rails framework. But it's the same for me in Python.
Yeah. Joel, are you aiming for data science too? I don't remember.
Yeah, but I mean, right now, you know, I'm just trying to combine. I'm an equity analyst, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I can combine the two. Yeah. So I don't.
Well, but you have the math and statistics background, right?
Yeah.
Oil, it was.
Oil and gas.
Yeah, I remember. So yeah, that's basically the main objective. If we could describe a program, is super simple, and it's usually as simple that it's like people are looking for like something else. You know, it's like there should be something else, but it's as simple as having a class once per week and then having coding sessions that will change on real life projects to working on individual assignments for the introductory course. But basically, it's just meeting at a certain time, so we keep our students accountable for that, to work on something practically. Because I love to explain things and to do classes, and it's something I really like. But the truth is that I can show you in a slide how to use what we were saying, the OS and the sys modules, but then you are the one sitting in front of your desk and you have to make it happen. So the practicing is a core value for us, you know, doing a lot of practice, and that's where we believe is where we excel.
Actually, one of my main frustrations about learning to code is with a lot of boot camps that I've had to go to is that they it's like, for one that I'm currently working on, they give you some of the basic ideas on where to go, and then they expect you to, you know, go out and Google and search and actually get all the necessary to get all of the necessary ideas needed to complete the assignment and to understand what is going on, which is fine, but to a certain point. And it almost feels like guided or proctored self-learning versus teaching. And there's a real line there. And that's why I think when you were talking about actually getting closer to and maximizing the return on value per hour spent working on everything, that's really important, because that's been one of my hardest things is, even with my experience and everything, programming and everything, there's still sometimes where I feel that I'm just still so far behind that if I didn't just know all this magical stuff beforehand, I wouldn't be able to keep up even with self-learning and Googling. That's been one of my biggest frustrations.
Yeah, that's something also difficult to balance. So let me really quickly, every coding session works in the same way, regardless of if we're working on a project like we do in the advanced Python course and the Django course, or if we're doing individual exercises like we do in the intro one. The project is assigned. You know, we start, for example, Tuesday, 6 p.m. EST, we joined all together. We give away the project. We say, this is what we guys have to build. Everything is going to be test-driven, either individual assignments or the real projects. And then, again, it's this hard balance about, and you guys will start working in teams. And whenever you have a question, the idea is that you can just request help from a mentor. You know, so it's basically, hey, I'm working on this and I have an issue. And the idea is to balance. It's really hard to. It's to balance. Okay, how much time have you tried figuring that out by yourself, and how much time? I mean, it's like, sorry, I'm kind of confusing myself, but it's just that, you know, that sweet spot where, okay, you have spent enough time by yourself, we will just give you the answer because we don't want you to waste any more time. You know, the value you will get out of just figuring it out by yourself is going to be incredible less than if we just give it away to you. You know, so it's hard. It's something we try to talk with all the mentors. Actually, we write down every help that we give to our students since we started doing this like 5 batches away. So we have a lot of issues that people have in every project consistently. So we either try to tell them, hey guys, pay attention on these, or just this balance about, you will not get a lot by just spending 2 hours Googling and maybe getting the wrong answer. So it's something we try to give away. I don't know how it worked. Shoal, maybe you have a better idea because you experienced it, but it's something we try. And it's hard, but I don't know. I think we are.
Yeah, I found it, you know, like you were saying, if you went out and Googled, you know, you got to type in the right combination of words, and maybe somebody, you know, and maybe there's some figuring out here, you know, you'll ask for help, and then, you know, they'll come in and, I mean, they really know what they're doing. They can see, you know, they can come up with, they know where you're having problems or whatever, and, you know, answer your question without giving everything away and kind of lead you to the solution. So I found that really helpful.
Yeah, it's exactly that. And
that's another thing I've had issues with, is getting feedback on my code and also collaboration, because I've had issues even getting to be able to be pair programmed before. I would actually really, really like that as well. I've had issues, just general feedback that isn't just, you know, some sort of short response that's pithy, or, oh, well, why not just, you know, the usual, oh, why did you do this, and just stop. And I'm like, well, okay, you're saying that I did this wrong method, then what method do you suggest is the correct best practice. I've ran into those issues as well. So that's another thing that I think your course could help out with. And plus, you're the only boot camp I've seen that does Django. Like, I've been a Python developer for 6 years, and I've been wanting to learn Django at the boot camp for the longest time. And you're the only one that I found, to be honest. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's trying to communicate and follow a path that makes sense. Something we would really like to do is, and we're actually starting to work on this. So if you guys in the future have any suggestion, we're more than open and thankful to receive them, is to also start talking about data science, because it's something that is caught like a lot of attention lately, and are things that at the end of the day work pretty good together. And I think all this is, I don't know, maybe because we have chosen the right platform. It's like Python is pretty cool on that. We have people working in the same company, working with building an API one day and then doing that analysis, with the same language, the same platform. It's something really cool. I mean, if you know the basics behind programming, you can easily learn a new programming language, and that's fine. But I picture how hard it would be if you had to work on your API on Rails and then jump to R for data analysis, and you have to jump to Perl for systems programming. That would be really like a pain in the butt, basically. And having the right platform, it's convenient, at least.
Gotcha. And what I'm learning right now, I am learning R right now, and I do a lot of data engineering and type work for my stuff. I'm actually a contractor for the federal government here in the United States for climate data, and I do a lot of data engineering stuff. And that's one of the coolest things I wanted to learn, is take the scientific analysis that I've done and actually port them to things like microservices and web applications, which is another reason why I wanted to learn this course.
Yeah, exactly. And then the foundations are simple. I mean, coding is coding, and then you have to pour maybe some statistics and math knowledge, and then you have to pour some how HTTP works if you want to work with a web type of service. But the concepts underlying are the most important thing, and what we try to communicate a lot. Okay, were you able to join?
Oh, somebody's on. Yeah, tell them that.
Me?
Yeah.
Jay, you said? Yeah, I'm good.
Cool. So anyway, guys, what we were trying to do is, first of all, communicate. It's simple. What we do is simple. It's simple. It's not magical. Our main value, again, is to provide all the foundations and resources necessary for you guys to maximize your learning as quickly and in the best possible way. What we have done, it's all the result of iterating quickly and getting as many suggestions as possible. So it's basically the result of a lot of people learning through the same process. If I could tell you how we started doing this, it was completely different, and everything has like changed to what we have right now based on things that work on feedback. So we're really proud about it, because even in the first sessions, we still had a lot of satisfaction from our students. So we're constantly improving, and to be honest, I believe I'm one of the believers about computer programming is a new science. We have been teaching, I don't know, civil engineering or physics for hundreds of years, and we have been teaching computer science for how much, like 40 years maybe, learning how to do it, and we are still subject of experimenting ourselves, like to build the foundations for tomorrow. It's not, and nothing is carved into stone. And if you talk to the universities that do these, it's like a lot of points they were doing something, they were teaching, I don't know, physics, and they had to teach computer programming, and they say, oh, all right, let's just switch the topics and let's explain computer programming the same way we teach physics, and it's not the same thing. It's something different. So again, we try to improve it at any moment. So you will see differences even from one batch to the other.
And that's my biggest regret as a developer, is that I never took algorithms and data structures in university.
Yeah. It's you haven't lost a lot though. I mean, from there you will get a few interesting concepts, and that's important. But then the algorithms class, then it deals with applying the same concepts all the time. To go through, I don't know, to find the quickest way to go through all the nodes in a graph or in a tree or in a list, you will apply the same concepts. So don't punish yourself a lot about that. So any other questions, something that we could help you with? Joel, were you trying to showing the advanced Python program? I never finally asked you guys.
Well, I'm kind of wrapped up in this other thing at the moment, so I got to finish that first.
Okay, let me know if you want me.
I wanted to get a stronger background in some of the class or the OOP. I'm still. It's been a while since I looked at that, and I really want to get it down before I take your advanced class.
Cool. Awesome. So guys, again, for us, it's as simple as this, to jump in a call, and help anyone as we can. So at any moment, just email us, whatever, and we can, we embrace human communication. We believe it's at our core, even though we are technological, I don't know, super caught up on technology and all. It's as simple as joining a hangout and helping people. So at any moment, just reach us. Have a great end of year. Did anyone know? You are all gay, but guys, sorry, based on the United States. So we were talking with a guy from New Zealand a few hours ago, and they had already celebrated New Year. So it was 4 a.m. in the morning, and the guy was trying to join the program. Crazy. So thank you all for joining. And again, any questions, just write us. It's super simple for us to just spin one of these hangouts and start talking and helping whatever way we can. Shay, did you receive the invitation?
Thank you so much.
See you, Justin.
What Did you call me? Ask me something?
Yeah, if we were sending more communication emails. I don't know if you got them.
I'll have to check. I think I got another one about the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Cool. Awesome. I was just making sure. That's an important one. Again, if sometime doesn't fit, just let us know. We usually put a few regular, I don't know, base dates, and then we work it out from there.
All right. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay. Cool. Okay, guys. Have a great end of year, and hopefully talk to you next year.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy New Year. Take care.
See you all. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.